Ever felt totally overwhelmed by endless spreadsheets, complicated apps, or that exhausting chore of tracking literally every single dollar you spend? Well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're ditching all that noise. We're going to replace it with a really clear, highly effective visual framework for managing your money. We're diving deep into the 50-30-20 budgeting blueprint.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll cover the core 50-30-20 rule, then we'll break down needs versus lifestyle wants. After that, saving and paying off debt, putting the rule in action, adapting it to your own reality, and finally, exactly how to get started.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the core 50-30-20 rule, and how it's going to help you escape budget overwhelm.
So what exactly is this rule? Basically, it's an allocation strategy that divides your after-tax take-home pay into 3 strict categories. You allocate 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. That is literally the entire formula. It's just a basic framework designed to make sure you're covering your essentials, enjoying your life right now, and securing your future, all without needing a master's degree in advanced finance.
Moving right along to Section 2. Needs versus lifestyle wants, where we'll focus on clarifying your expenses.
Okay, looking at the largest chunk of our budget, a full 50% goes directly to your needs. These are the essential expenses you generally just cannot avoid. We're talking about the absolute basics required for modern living. You know, housing, groceries, utilities, transportation, healthcare, and minimum debt payments. The ultimate goal here isn't just to write these costs down, but to optimize them so these non-negotiables stay at or below half of your total take-home pay.
Now, you've really got to be ruthless and honest with yourself here. A basic phone plan or safe, functional housing, that's a true need. But an expensive, unlimited data plan with features you barely ever touch, or a luxury apartment with a shiny fitness center, well, those are actually lifestyle choices masquerading as needs. Understanding the difference between the two is arguably the single most critical part of successful budgeting.
Now, before you start thinking this explainer is going to tell you to stop buying coffee or never go out again, let's look at the next category. The 30% wants slice is intentionally built right into the framework. A good budget shouldn't punish you, it empowers you to enjoy your money without sacrificing those long-term goals. This 30% covers things like restaurants, takeout, multiple streaming subscriptions, yeah, even the ones you completely forgot to cancel months ago, plus entertainment, hobbies, vacations, and shopping. Look, the problem isn't spending money on things you enjoy. The problem is spending so much on these wants that you have absolutely nothing left for emergencies or your future self.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, saving and paying off debt and securing your future.
This 20% target, this is the engine of your financial progress. Now, a really common misconception is that this 20% slice is strictly for the stock market. But hey, if you don't have an emergency cushion, building up an emergency fund is your absolute very first priority for this money. Or, if you're carrying expensive, high-interest credit card debt, aggressively paying that down is an equally critical priority. Once those immediate threats are neutralized, then and only then does this 20% smoothly transition into funding your retirement accounts and investing for your future.
All right, let's see how this actually works. Section 4, the rule in action, where we break down the math.
Let's imagine your take-home pay, the actual cash that hits your bank account each month, is exactly $4,000. Under this clear framework, your 50% for needs gives you a firm $2,000 ceiling. Your 30% for wants provides a pretty generous $1,200 for lifestyle spending, and your 20% for savings and debt gives you a solid $800 to build your future. No complex formulas, no stressful daily tracking, just 3 extremely clear dollar targets to guide your entire month.
I really want to emphasize the compounding power of consistency here. If you just stick to that $800 monthly savings and debt target, over the course of just one single year, it yields $9,600. And that is before even considering a single penny of investment growth or compound interest. Small, structured monthly decisions effortlessly snowball into significant, truly life-changing amounts over time.
Let's move to Section 5, adapting to your reality, focusing on flexibility over perfection.
Because, let's face it, sometimes the standard 50-30-20 split just doesn't align with where you are right now. Say you live in a super expensive city. Your housing alone might skew your budget to 70% for needs, leaving 20% for wants and 10% for savings. And you know what? That doesn't mean you're failing. It just means your budget is reflecting your actual reality.
Whether you're supporting a large family, paying off massive student loans, or navigating a sudden financial emergency, these percentages absolutely can and should change depending on your unique situation.
So let's jump into Section 6, how to get started in actually building your plan.
If you want to set up your own budget this weekend, just follow these 4 simple steps. Step 1, calculate your actual monthly take-home income. Remember, we're talking about the money left over after taxes and payroll deductions. Step 2, write down your essential monthly expenses, just the absolute basics to keep your life running. Step 3, go through those expenses and ruthlessly separate your lifestyle wants from your true needs. And finally, Step 4, decide on a realistic savings and debt repayment target that you can commit to starting right now.
And I really want to reassure you here. Perfection is not the goal on day one. If you evaluate your finances and realize, wow, I'm currently saving only 5%, just use that as your baseline. Over the next few months, as you pay off a credit card or maybe get a slight bump in income, scale that up to 7%, then maybe 10%. Scaling your savings progressively over time is the realistic, sustainable path to hitting that 20% target goal. Again, the goal is progress, not perfection.
To summarize the core philosophy of everything we've explored in this explainer, you don't need to make more money to start managing your money better. You just need a plan. The 50-30-20 rule is so highly effective because it gives every single dollar a purpose. It controls lifestyle creep, and it simultaneously leaves room for you to actually enjoy the life you're living right now. A clear strategy really is the ultimate key to financial control.
Ultimately, remember that budgeting isn't about restricting yourself. It's about direction. So I want to conclude this explainer by leaving you with the final provocative thought to spark your own financial transformation. Is your money working toward the life you want? Take this simple blueprint, adapt it to your reality, and start building better financial habits today.